I want to have the big picture discussion as well, but we got, as we came on air, this chief of staff news. Molly, as you know, Donald Trump had a lot of turnover in the first term. He started with what they called an outreach pick in Reince Priebus. Then he went more hardcore with John Kelly. Then he went to Mick Mulvaney. He landed on what was widely the most extreme chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who was so involved in efforts to steal the election and stage a criminal coup that he's actually been indicted in 2 states. And some of those are the types of cases that don't go away with the White House win because they're local. So given that arc in history, what do you see in this staffing pick? Well,
you know, Trump goes through people quickly, and we've seen this before, and I think there's certainly a chance that she doesn't. I mean, in some ways, it doesn't matter, right? Because Trump is about Trump, and the people around Trump have very little influence on Trump. And that's what Trump's voters like about him. So ultimately, if she lasts a long time, it will show that he's a little bit less mercurial than he's been, but I could see her lasting a very short time, too.
But if you look at where he landed with someone like Meadows, he could have picked someone who's indicted or mixed up with those problems and said, no, see, they're going to have power again or they're important. This is not only a reward for her, it is, and it may be an optics or a PR thing. We're not baking any cakes here.
Right.
But even if it's just PR, the opening PR here is not Bannon. It's not one of his many indicted aides.
Yeah, and that's good.
I'm hesitant to ascribe too much to this. I mean, this is a person who has said and demonstrated time and time again over the years that we've seen him in public life that he is mainly guided by instinct. That he does things because he wants to do them, but because his gut tells him to do them, and then we can kind of read the tea leaves and kind of reverse analyze like what that.
So what do you read here as the instinct?
That this was the thing he just decided to do, like everything else, you know. And so there's a famous movie where there's a character who has the line, "Do I look like a guy with a plan?"
Right.
And so I think there's that. That's a big part of it.
Yeah. We saw Bannon today on the other side of talk about promises. Oh, Project 2025. Trump disclaimed it. Many aides disclaimed it. Bannon was holding the actual 2025 mandate for leadership up to the camera. Very much the cynical point that I think Jelani was rightly criticizing them for, that you just finished the campaign, that voters just voted on Tuesday, and you're not waiting any time to, at least as far as Bannon is showing, to say they're lying. They would have to be lying if he wants to sell that now.
They wanted this. Remember, at the RNC, they had signs that said mass deportation now. There is no hiding this plan. There is no sugarcoating it. And I did a big YouTube series on Project 2025 where I interviewed all these academics, and they said, you know, they talked me through the genesis of a lot of these things. And this is a wish list of conservative institutions, right? But it's also like mass deportation is not a vibe. It's a plan.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Broadening out to everything, Jelani, you look at some of the counties that Trump won back. This cannot just be dismissed for the things that were also true. Racism, misogyny, Democrats' problems, right? There were also just some real economic headwinds that I think are striking. So take a look at counties that had a higher cost of living, which includes places where Democrats historically have done better, including in what are called blue states. But if you take it to the county level, quoting this economist, Jed Kolko, relative to 2020, quote, expensive counties tend to be in blue places, big coastal cities. Harris won most of the pricey counties, but by less than Biden when controlling for all the other variables. Do you read that as those folks actually responding to economics and thus less of a Trump mandate, or how do you read that?
So, I mean, again, you know, this election happened this week, you know, so I'd be hesitant to try to draw any permanent, ideas about this. But I will say this. The idea, to the graphic we saw earlier, that 60% of Trump's people were voting for him, only 37. This is a person who created, organized, and orchestrated a presidential campaign in 3.5 months.
Yeah.
The biggest question she confronted is, who is she? And so we could read, going back to that economic data, it was like there's all kinds of noise in there. But if we had done a kind of 4-year back comparison, it would have said, where are those counties? They were mired in COVID, and mired in the COVID recession. And that was a point that we never actually saw driven home in the course of this campaign. partly because the candidate was busy introducing herself at a certain point in time. And so I think that it will take a little while to disaggregate that in a way that we can actually make sense of what the real kind of dynamics were.
And that's a fair point, Jelani, but underneath that point is an implicit criticism of how the Democrats spent the year.
Oh, no, I mean, it's not. It's just a fact. But if we want to go there, we can go there.
Well, I'm saying the fact underneath that is if everything you just said is true, then someone running the Democratic operation or video game would go back a year and say, so maybe she needs more than 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But this is like when we looked at Truman and we looked at Harry S. Truman and Lyndon Baines Johnson stepped out. They both did so in March. Yeah. They did so before the primaries had even really kicked off. By the time Joe Biden stepped out, the primaries were done. And that is a fundamentally different circumstance. And so, I mean, who knows? Yeah. It's like, but I will say that we have two boxers. We give one person 6 months in training camp, and we give another person 6 weeks in training camp. We really don't know like who is the better boxer. And we just know what happened under those highly particular circumstances.
And you're being very generous because Donald Trump declared the earliest presidential campaign in history, partly to try to say he was a candidate and forestall the indictments that still came after he declared his candidacy. So she had the shortest, and he actually temporarily had the longest.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been running for president for almost a decade. I mean, people know who he is, and he's a uniquely famous individual, famous for being a businessman. Right. It's not maybe true, but he is famous for that. And that is has been a huge political advantage for him.
Final lightning round in a sentence or so, what you advise people from here, just in the days ahead.
I think that we have to do, certainly for journalists, I talked with my students today, and I said we do what this school was founded, Columbia Journalism School was founded in 1912. And people had the foresight that we would need, journalists who would protect democracy to the best of our ability through our work. That's what we intend to keep doing, and I think that that's what all of us should do.